morning, kids, and welcome to Kids Corner. I am so excited to be back here again with you. Now, there's a bit of a problem because I was running around getting everything ready and Pastor Pete was here, but now we're ready to start and he's disappeared. I can't find him anywhere. So I don't know where he's gone, and I was wondering maybe you guys can help me find him. So on the count of 3, let's yell out really loud and find Pastor Pete. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Pastor Pete! Oh, I think we need to do it again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Pastor Pete!
Yes. Sorry, Ralph. So I'm coming, Ralph. Sorry, I just had to grab something. Here, that's for you.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's so nice. What's that for?
Well, you know how sometimes we get busy?
Yeah.
And then sometimes we get really, really busy.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just need to take a break. And so I thought, well, this couldn't hurt.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to having a break with this. But maybe I'm just going to pop it down over here right now so I'm not tempted to eat it in the middle of kids' church.
And I'll take this opportunity to say good morning to the kids. So, good morning, kids. Great to be here with you again. And we're looking forward to today again. And looking forward to school holidays. I hope you're looking for school holidays. It's only 1 week away. 1 week. Are your kids looking forward to school holidays?
Oh man, Pastor Pete, we are so looking forward to school holidays. Even though we've been in lockdown this term, it has actually been a really busy term and kind of stressful. So we're really, really looking forward to having a bit of a rest.
It's amazing you talk about that because this week's lesson is all about how sometimes we can get stressful and sometimes we can feel like we worry and sometimes we feel like we're under pressure.
Yep.
And how God, when we come to God, that He will give us rest.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing lesson and one that I really want to hear about. But I reckon before we do that, there's some kids out there that want to know if anyone had a birthday this week.
I want to know if people had a birthday because I love celebrating birthdays. And I know you guys love celebrating birthdays too. So can I go first?
Of course you can.
Oh, good. Go first. Yay. Well, our first one is Rory and he turned 11 this week.
Well, happy birthday, Rory.
Yes, happy birthday, Rory. And also we have Finn who turned 10. So
double digits.
Double digits. Happy birthday, Finn. Okay, we also had Mia who turned 10 as well.
Another double digits.
They're all jumping up there,
aren't
they?
Happy birthday, Mia.
And we also have Amina who turned 9. Not quite double figures, but she will get there.
She will.
Excellent. Happy birthday, guys.
Happy birthday,
Great to
guys.
Celebrate your birthday.
Well, do you know what? We didn't have any birthdays in Adventure over the last couple of weeks.
Really? None? Maybe next week?
Maybe.
Yeah, if you're out in Adventure, have a birthday next week, then the Roll's got something to talk about.
Fantastic. Well, do you know what? I'm going to go and enjoy that beautiful coffee and cake. But before we do, how about we hear what India has to say about this week's lesson?
What's the lesson about?
Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm not going to worry about it then. I'll just go over here and sit down.
Hi, it's me, India. Welcome back to our series, Don't Worry About It. It's so cool how we have learned that God doesn't want us to be worried and anxious. He has provided so much for us to have a healthy and peaceful mind. But that doesn't mean stress won't happen. There are so many things that can cause stress in your life. Family fights can cause big stress. When a friend decides they don't want to be your friend and they turn their back on you, it can be really stressful. Not to mention all the homework, deadlines, and assignments from school. That can be a huge cause of stress. So where do you go when you're stressed? Where do you go to find peace? Some people turn to hobbies like video games to relieve stress. That's not bad, but that's not where God told us to go. Some people think if they just go to their friends and tell them all about their stress, then that will help them feel better. That's not bad, but that's not where God told us to go. There was one place God instructed us to go when we're stressed. That place is in the presence of Jesus. It's true, stress will happen, but Jesus is stronger than stress. If you spend time in His presence, He will give you peace. Today in your lesson, you're going to learn from the story of Mary and Martha, how you can come to God's presence when you feel stressed out. Until next time, I'm India reminding you, don't worry about it. See ya!
So kids, today's Bible story is found in the book of Luke and it's in chapter 10. And it's the story of two sisters who are really good friends with Jesus. Now, these two sisters, their names were Mary and Martha, and they also had a brother named Lazarus. And they were really excited because they had had some really good news. Jesus was coming to have lunch with them, and they were so excited to have him come and visit them. Now, when you have someone over for lunch, there's an awful lot of things that you've got to do to get ready. So, getting the meal ready, cleaning the house, making sure it's exciting and ready for visitors. So when Jesus arrived, Martha, she just started rushing around. She was rushing here and she was rushing there and she was doing so much and she was doing it so fast that she started to get a bit stressed out. You can imagine that, can't you? Lots of things going on, doing so many things at once. It's a bit stressful. Now, after a while of this rushing around, Martha started to notice that Mary was nowhere to be found. And she got to thinking, I'm doing so much, I'm stressing out, I'm running around doing so much. Where on earth is Mary and why isn't she here helping me? So she poked her head into the living room and guess what she saw? She saw Mary, but Mary was just sitting at Jesus' feet, doing nothing, just sitting there, listening to Jesus, having a very restful time. So while Martha was busy rushing around, stressing out, getting all these details ready, Mary was just spending time with Jesus. Martha ran into the living room and she said to Jesus, Jesus, it's not fair. Mary is sitting here doing nothing while I am taking care of everything else. Do you know what Jesus said? He responded something pretty interesting back to Martha. He said, well, Martha, you actually have to understand something. Mary is doing exactly what you should be doing. She's exactly where you need to be. She is with me. So instead of stressing about all those details of the little nitty-gritty things that have to be done, maybe you should be right here with me as well. Interesting, hey? Well, Jesus was explaining to Martha a very, very important truth. And it's the same truth that we can find in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. And it says, come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens. Do you think that describes the way that Martha was feeling? I think so. Sometimes it describes the way that we're feeling too. Tired, carrying lots of loads on our shoulders, lots of things to do. But you know what? The verse actually goes on further than that. It says, come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. So today, we're going to learn that we can trust Jesus to give us rest when we are really stressed out with life.
What you gotta know, what you gotta know. Time for Boudreaux, what you gotta know. What you gotta know, what you gotta know. Time for Boudreaux, what you gotta know.
Hey everybody, my name is Boudreaux. That's pronounced Boudreaux. And I'm here to tell you what you gotta know. Today, we're learning about how Jesus can calm us when we're stressed. So every time today you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know, you tell them, I will come to God's presence when I feel stressed out. Life is full of stress. I mean, I got a whole lot of stuff to be stressed about. What if my pet gator eats his dentist? What if a meteor comes down and splashes in the swamp and gets mud all over my freshly washed truck? What if my possum pot pie turns out too garlicky? I hate garlic! Oh no! Okay. These are probably not things that stress you out, but they sure stress me out. I'm sure you got some stuff that stresses you out too. Your grades, sickness, you got some family problems, you name it. The good news is, when you're all stressed out, you can go to Jesus and He gonna help you. So every time today you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know, you tell them, I will come to God's presence when I feel stressed out. And that right there is what you gotta know. Well, I'm Boudreaux from the Bayou saying, bye-bye you.
Good morning, children, and thank you for having Nan and Nellie back to Kids Corner. I have had a wonderful week. I've done so much research into what a website is. However, I still don't understand why you would want to visit a place where spiders build their homes. Who knows? Well, for this week's craft, which was sent out via email to your parents or can be found at the website lmc.org.au/kids, we have the colouring sheets to do. They are and one more. 3 colouring sheets this week. That's very exciting. You also have an activity sheet to do. And this week, Pastor Pete and Narelle have been talking about stress, and so they thought that you might like to make a stress ball. What you do is you put some rice inside a balloon, then you tie a knot so the rice doesn't come out. Then you put it inside another balloon, and every time you squeeze it, it feels good in your fingers. The idea behind a stress ball is that every time you want to talk to God about the things that are going on, you can squeeze this and squeeze it every time, and then when you are done talking to God, you can stop squeezing your stress ball. Well, thank you for joining us on Kids Corner this morning, and I hope that you have a wonderful week. From Nana Nellie.
Thank you, Nana Nellie. That was a really good craft and really practical too. Hope you have a lot of fun making it. Well, kids, I'm back here to do the call to action. So today we've been talking about how the busyness of life can lead to stress. In fact, many kids have so much on their schedule that they are always feeling that they are anxious, stressed, or worried. And this is not the way that God intended us to do life. We should not be so overwhelmed with the things of life that we are stressed all the time. But the truth is, life is full of stress. Jesus said in John chapter 16, verse 33, "Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows." This means that there are going to be many things in life that will make us feel stressed and in need of God's peace. Often just going through life and doing the things that we have to do, like school or homeschool at the moment, tests always cause me stress. Sports, or even the fact that we can't join our friends and play sports at the moment. Friendship issues, that can cause us stress. Even families, being in lockdown at the moment, we're seeing much more of our families, and that can also add to our stress. Do you know what stress is? It's the feeling that you have so much to do and so many things in life that are going on that you feel totally pressed down and crushed. Pretend that you're this little tomato over here. He doesn't look too happy, does he? He's a little bit stressed, a little bit pressured. Okay, pretend that you're feeling the stress and the pressures of life, and they're starting to come down on you, or starting to press down on you. There are so many things going on and so much to do that you feel like you are just being crushed. This is a pretty tough little tomato. Oh, there he goes. Oh, poor little friend. Oh, look at him. Yeah, yuck, I got tomato juice on me. Okay, and that's how we can feel, just totally crushed. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You deal with stress all the time, whether it's at school or at home. And what happens when you're stressed? Well, we talked a little bit about this last week, how we can get angry more easy, how we can complain more, and even how we feel so tired all the time because we're always worrying about stuff. It's a bit like Martha in the story today. She was so focused on all the stuff that she had to do that she was completely stressed out. And she even forgot to spend time with Jesus. God does not want us to live our lives completely stressed out and overwhelmed. If you follow God closely, you don't have to be stressed out about all the things that are going on in your life. Why? Well, it's simple, because Jesus is stronger than our stress. It's true. He has already conquered all the trouble and all the stress of this life. How do I know that? Well, we'll go back to John chapter 16, verse 33. Jesus said, "I have told you these things that you may have peace in me. Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart," or cheer up, or put a smile on your dial, "because I have overcome the world." Jesus is so much stronger than the stress that we'll have in this life. You see, kids, if we try to take care of all the stress, the quizzes, the pressures, the sports, family, all those kind of things ourselves, we will end up hurting ourselves. Okay, how much do you think this glass of water weighs? Oh, not that heavy, come on, not that strong. Yeah, look, it weighs about 600 grams. I weighed it before, so I cheated a little bit. Okay, it's not very heavy. And for me to hold this for about 5 minutes, it's no big deal. But if I wanted to hold it, say, for an hour, my arm would probably start to hurt a little bit. What if I held it for 3 hours or 5 hours? It'd start to get really sore. What if I thought, hey, I can hold this all day. I'm going to hold it for 24 hours. I'd probably be yelling out, Mum, call an ambulance. My arm is about to drop off. It would really, really hurt. However, if I set it down and let it rest, I can come back later on and pick it up again. And it doesn't seem so heavy. If you try to hold on to stress all by yourself, you can do yourself a lot of harm. So how should we handle it? Well, when you're feeling stressed, come to Jesus. Our power verse today says it best. Come to me, all you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Jesus says that when we are stressed and we feel worn down by the pressures and stress of life, we are to come to him. If we come to him, he will give us rest. It's beautiful, isn't it? He can give you the peace that you need to make it through the stress. It's just like that glass of water. When I put it back down again, I could come back to it and carry it much longer because I let it rest. But if I tried to carry it all day without stopping, I couldn't do it. Jesus said if we stop and come to him and allow him to give us rest, we will be able to handle the stresses of life much better. So today, many of you may be stressed. You may be feeling a bit like our poor little tomato friend down here, crushed and overwhelmed by it. Or you might feel a bit like Martha, worried about all the things you have to do, all the people you're not seeing, all the things that are going on. I don't know, whatever the things that you know what causes you stress, you know what they are. Well, today we're going to do exactly what our power verse says. We're going to take some time to come to Jesus, to spend time in his presence and to ask him for rest. Today, allow the peace of God to fill your life so that you can leave worry behind. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you that you've even warned us that we're going to have stress in life, that we're going to have things that worry us. It's all part of life. But the good news is that we can come to you when we feel worried. We can come to you when we feel stressed, and we can spend time with you. And you say that you will give us rest. Lord, today I want to hand over to you the things that are worrying me, the things that are causing me to feel stressed, and allow you to take them and allow you to replace it with your rest. In Jesus' name, amen. And kids, remember, if you are going through stress or worries or troubles, don't forget to talk to your parents about it because they want to help you as well. Okay? Catch you later.
Well, thank you, Pastor Pete, for that call to action. It was really, really good. And you know, kids, we have a lot of things going on in our lives each and every day, and sometimes it can cause us to be weighed down.
That's right, Will. You know that we'll never be without stress in our life, but God has a perfect solution for helping us deal with our stress and giving us rest, doesn't he?
He sure does. He just wants us to come to him, just like Mary did. Sit at his feet, listen to him, and he will give us the rest that we need.
It's amazing how that works, isn't it? You know, the more time you spend with God, the better you feel. How does he do it?
I think it's because he's God, and there's nothing that's too big or too worrisome or too stressful that he can't deal with.
That sounds really good. And to spend time with God so I feel better seems really inviting. I think I might go do it now.
Well, actually, before you go, have you forgotten something?
Oh, no, I haven't forgotten to say goodbye to the kids at all.
good.
Oh, no, I would never forget that, kids. So, goodbye, kids. Have a great week. See you all next week at Kids Corner. Okay, that's it.
One more. You've forgotten something else, Pastor Pete.
Forgotten something else?
Yes.
Man, I'm getting forgetful today, aren't I? Okay, we did intro.
Yes.
We've done story.
Yep.
We did Boudreaux. I love that word. Everyone just say it again.
Boudreaux.
Boudreaux. It's a cool name. Okay, we had Nana Nelly with that awesome craft. Call to action. And I said goodbye. Powerverse.
Ah, we got there eventually.
I got there eventually. Almost forgot the Powerverse. But I like sticking around for the Powerverse. So I'm going to stick around, watch the Powerverse, and then I'm going to spend time with God. Mate, the day just keeps getting better.
Certainly does. Okay, kids. Well, let's do that. So we'll say bye for this week, but next week we will see you at Kids Corner, same time. Have a lovely week.
Bye.
Bye.
It's your old buddy Kent. Kent Heria. I'm 86 years old, so I'm just a little bit hard of hearing. The reason I'm here today is to teach you today's power verse. Today's power verse says, "Then Jesus said, 'Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest.'" Matthew 11:28. Well, that was a wonderful power verse, wasn't it? I tell you what I need you to do. I need you to help me say it. So I want you to stand up. There you go, stand up, and you're going to say it with me loud. Remember, I'm hard of hearing. Say it with me loud so we can get my loudometer all the way up to 10. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Then Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. Oh, that was pretty good. It was pretty good, but I still can't hear you. Get it? I want you to do it again, and this time we're going to get the loudometer all the way to 10. Say it loud. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Then Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. Great job on the power verse. You may have a seat. Well, I've got to go find my earwax removal kit. It's going to be a long day ahead of me. Well, until next time, I can't hear you, but I'll see you later. Bye-bye.